Hello everybody out there, welcome back to the RostyMaths channel and welcome back to this video on direct proportion. Now you might be suffering from a little bit of, hang on a minute, I'm pretty sure I heard him do that topic before. Yes, I have. Check the link in the description. That's the simpler version of direct proportion. This is most likely the one you're going to see at GCSE or even just before. So this one we have to create a formula and then we have to use that formula to solve an extended question. Okay, so here we are in the lesson and now we're going to talk about direct proportion. Now, when I did it in that last video, I did talk a little bit at length about the fact that you can end up having a graph that looks something like that. And indeed it is, because as one thing increases, so do the other. So you're going to have this is going to increase and that is going to increase. So direct proportion tends to be, in this particular case, most of the times a straight line. Now, what do we do when we see a question like the one that's on there? So let's get rid of this and see what's going on. So J is directly proportional to H. Now, before I go on to that word proportional, which we've got there, I'm going to say that there are either of two words you're going to see. You're going to see proportional, and sometimes you're going to see the word vary or varies. So it might say something like Y varies directly. So you must pay attention to what they tell you in the question. Look for the word proportional or varies, and look for the word direct or inverse. In the next video I will do inverse, but in this one you're looking for the word direct. So we've got that here going on. You can see here J is directly proportional to H. Now what do we do when we see that? The minute we see that, we can write that J alpha H, that's direct proportion. Okay, now what is this alpha business that we have got there? Now alpha, you replace alpha with equal K. And why might you say we need to do that? Well, that's because for that graph to increase, something needs to be multiplied by it to make it keep incrementing. And that something is your K. It's called your proportional constant. So look out for that word as well. It's the proportional constant, or the constant of proportion. That multiplies to make that graph keep going up or going down, depending on what's happening with the K, because it can be negative sometimes as well. Anyway, in this case, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to replace that alpha with equal K. So then J is equal to K times H. Now we've got that. They will almost always give you some relationship information. So let me get my graph back over here. And from my graph going up there, what they're going to say here is when J is 15, H is 5. So what they're actually giving you here is two bits of information that you can find on the graph. They're related to each other. So let's say that this is my J axis and that's my K axis there. What they're saying is when J is 15 and I go and I touch the graph and I go across there, then K is equal to 5. I can use that information to work out what K is, which is what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to say I'm going to replace this J with 15 and I'm going to replace that H with 5. I don't know where I got K from all of a sudden. This should have been H there. Okay, never mind. Let's go. So I'm going to replace them. So that's going to be 15 is equal to K times 5. So in order to work out what K is, obviously I need to divide by 5. I'm going to take my working out up here. So 15 divided by 5 is equal to K. And K is going to be equal to 3. Now once I get that K is equal to 3, I can now take that and plug it into my equation that I made here, because this equation, that's my bread and butter for this question. I can use that to solve anything else that they throw at me in this question. Okay, so let's go and finish this off then. So then that means therefore that J is equal to 3 times H. And I can now go and say, well, okay, find the value of J when H is equal to 40. So just change that H there to 40. So therefore J is equal to 3 times 40, which is equal to 120. And this question is now finished. All right, and that's how you do that. Now, why do I have 2 questions? That's because the second question will bring you into what happens when you have to deal with powers, because that is also a possibility. So let's see what happens in this next question. Still direct proportion. So we can see here that y varies directly as the square of x. So you see that word varies is used now. It's still the same thing as proportion. So if y varies, let's unpick it then, see what we've got. Y alpha the square of x. The square of x would mean x square, like that. So and I still need to replace my alpha with equal k, and I still need to solve everything the way that I was doing before. So y equals kx square, like so. And let's see what information they've given me. So y is 64 when x is 2. So replace this for 64, replace that for 2. So that means that 64 is equal to k times 2 squared. So 64 is then equal to k times 4. And again, I will divide by 4 to get that k will equal to 16. Now that I've got it equal to 16, it means therefore that my equation is y equals to 16x squared, like that. All right, so all I'm doing is taking my 16, replace it for the k here, so y equals 16x squared. Let's see what they want me to solve now that I know what k is, my proportional constant. So find the value of y when x is equal to 5. So therefore that means I'm going to change this to 5, and I'm going to find out what y is. So that means that y is equal to 16 times 5 squared. We're all good BidMaths students, so we know that we need to work out the power first. So we're going to say that that's going to be y equals 16 times 25, which is equal to 400. And just like that, this is finished. All right, much longer than I expected the video to be, but we needed to go through all those bits at the beginning. Did you get it though? If you did, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe below if you haven't done so yet, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss another upload. So welcome to the new series, and I will see you on the next one. So for now, peace.